Hello everyone. Today in the banking area, we'll discuss Reserve Bank of India. And after this, we will discuss one international organization details, that is World Trade Organization. So these two organization detail we'll go through now. First, we'll discuss Reserve Bank of India from the banking chapter. Now, about the Reserve Bank of India, first we'll go through the, today I have taken the privilege to share the website of Reserve Bank of India in my class, as because, I thought that all of you may get the exposure of the Reserve Bank of India's, websites, like virtually how they exist. You should get an exposure. So I am thankful to Reserve Bank of India for having a wonderful and informative website for all of us regarding their all kinds of activities. So today in the class we'll discuss Reserve Bank of India, and first we'll start with the establishment. Reserve Bank of India establishment. Now, the Reserve Bank of India was established on 1st April 1935 in accordance with the previous provision of the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. Okay, like I am making it bold so you can see it. It was established in India in the year 1st April 1935, and with the provision of the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. Okay, now further, like initially office of Reserve Bank of India was in Kolkata. Okay, later on it was shifted to the Mumbai permanently in year 1937, and since that time, headquarters of the Reserve Bank of India exists in Mumbai. Now we'll go through the what is the Reserve Bank. Okay, preamble of the Reserve Bank. Now in the preamble of the Reserve Bank of India describe the basic functions of the Reserve Bank as to regulate the issues of bank notes and keeping of reserves with a view to securing monetary stability in India, and generally to operate the currency and credit system of the country to its advantage, to have a modern monetary policy framework to meet the challenges of an increasingly complex economy, to maintain price stability while keeping in mind the objective of growth. So these are the basic functions of the Reserve Bank, how we can understand the Reserve Bank of India. Now after a few minutes we'll go through the detailed functions of the Reserve Bank of India. There we'll see that what functions basically Reserve Bank of India performs. Now one thing I would like to tell you that Reserve Bank is one bank which act as a bankers of all banks. Like for ourselves, for individuals, for business houses, there are bank is there. Okay, like we can open savings account, current account, fixed deposit, locker. Okay, we can avail loan, personal loan, home loan from the banks. But for those all banks, Reserve Bank is the bank. Okay, so I hope you understood the matter. So what just in the preamble of Reserve Bank of India is being given, that will elaborately will go through the functions. Here we are, this session main objective is to knowing about the Reserve Bank as an establishment, then going through the question like what is a Reserve Bank and what are the different functions of the Reserve Bank. Okay. Now we'll move to the functions of the Reserve Bank. Now here also you see preamble is given, so you can read it, you can understand. Okay, if any doubts later on, you can ask a question. Now you see like function-wise sites. Okay, here one thing is mentioned, function-wise sites. So these are basically, you know, as it is given in the website, that's why it is written like this, function-wise sites. But if you go through study material or if you refer any books of economics, you will see functions of Reserve Bank is given. What I said, I repeat, functions of Reserve Bank is given. Okay, so today we are not referring to any you know, study material or any book, any PowerPoint presentation. We are directly visiting the Reserve Bank of India website, and we are very much thankful to them, as we are you know, studying gathering knowledge through their websites. Now coming to the functions, you know, total 11 main functions RBI performs. What I said, total how many functions RBI perform? 11 functions. 11 functions RBI mainly performs. Okay, now out of this, first function is monetary policy. Okay, function of monetary policy. RBI function of monetary policy. Now, in the monetary policy, what basically the RBI performs? Like, if we define monetary policy refers to the use of monetary instruments. See, I am highlighting it. You can see it in your screen also. Monetary policy refers to the use of monetary instruments under the control of central bank to regulate magnitudes such as interest rate, money supply, and availability of credit, with a view to achieving the ultimate objective of economic policy. Okay, so this is basically the RBI function related to the monetary policy. Now, as a function of monetary policy, RBI deals with the interest rate, money supply matters, then availability of credits. Okay, this kind of function RBI performs. Next, we'll move to the another function, that is function of research and data. What I said, function of research and data. Now, in the function of research and data, like the Reserve Bank has a rich tradition of generating sound, policy-oriented economic research data and data compilation and knowledge sharing. Regarding the research and data function, what RBI do, they have a rich tradition of generating sound, policy-oriented economic research, data compilation, and knowledge sharing. This function RBI performs. Now, see, all of you go through this, you know, in the previous function of monetary policy also, the overview is given. In the overview, you can go through the detail and you can have a look into the detailed summary of the functions. Like here, if you go talk about the research and data function of RBI in detail, like the Reserve Bank economic research work in designed to provide reliable, data-driven information for policy and decision making, supply accurate and timely data for academic research as well as to the general public. Okay, so provide support for collaborative research to research institutions and universities. They supply collaborative research, okay, to the different research institutes and even to the universities also. Then to develop and maintain statistical data reporting system. They develop and maintain statistical data reporting system also. Then to conduct forwarding looking surveys for monetary policy. RBI also conduct forward looking surveys for monetary policy. For having an effective and efficient monetary policy, RBI conducts forward looking surveys. Then educate the public. Now another function under the research and data category, function of RBI is to educate the public. RBI also educate the public regarding the all happenings of the economic activity of a country or of our country. Okay, because here we are talking about the Reserve Bank of India. So Reserve Bank, one function is to educate us. Okay. Now, next we'll move to the another function, that is issuer of currency. Issuer of currency is another function. Now in the issuer of currency, like in the issuer of currency, if we say in a nutshell what function RBI performs in as a issuer of currency. The Reserve Bank is the nation's sole note issuing authority, along with the Government of India. Reserve Bank of India are responsible for the design, production and overall management of the nation's currency, with the goal of ensuring an adequate supply of clean and genuine notes. Okay, simply our Reserve Bank of India work to issue of currency. Okay, now here, like if we go through the function in little bit detail, along with the Government of India, RBI are responsible for design, production and overall management of the nation's currency. Like currency, we see 10 rupees note, 100 rupees note, 500 rupees note, then coins. These basically issued by RBI with the goal of ensuring an adequate supply of clean and genuine notes. Okay, genuine notes. This is keyword like adequate supply of clean and genuine notes. Means sometimes we see that duplicate currency is there. Okay, so that also RBI look after. The Government of India is the issuing authority of coins and supply coins to the Reserve Bank on demand. The Reserve Bank puts the coins into circulation on behalf of the central government. In consultation with the Government of India, Reserve Bank of India works towards maintaining confidence in the currency by constantly endeavoring to enhance integrity of banknotes through new design and security features. See, you need to understand this function. Okay, like money security. Sometimes we see that in markets we see the duplicate currencies are available. Okay, black marketing happens of the currencies. So this is also prime responsibility of the RBI, which they maintain with the consultation of the Government of India about the safety and security features of the currencies. Okay, safety, securities, features of the currencies, and bringing new design so that other fraud agencies or black marketers, they cannot duplicate the currency. So this is the third function of RBI. RBI works as a issuer of currency. Then regulation related function of RBI related to the regulation, banking regulation. Now in the function of regulation of RBI, there are three kind of functions regarding regulations Reserve Bank of India performs. Okay. Now among these, commercial bank, cooperative bank, non-banking financial organizations are involved. Now first we'll discuss about the commercial banking. Regulating commercial bank. See, RBI is a regulator. Initially I said RBI works as a bankers of the all bank. Okay, and RBI is a regulatory body for banking system in India. So RBI also perform regulatory or regulation related works. So regarding the regulating commercial bank, regulating commercial banking, RBI, like banks are fundamental to the nation's financial system. The central bank has critical role to play in ensuring the safety and soundness of the banking system and in maintaining financial stability and public confidence in the system. Okay, so like say here, banks are fundamentals to the nation's financial system, and these statements, feasibility and authenticity and looking at the credibility of this financial system lies with the Reserve Bank of India. Here central bank means Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India is also known as central bank. Okay, so they play this critical role and ensure the safety and soundness of the banking system and in maintaining financial stability and public confidence in this system. In this system means banking system or financial system. So here also, like you can go through this overview part and you can understand, like see, mandate goals. Regulations aimed at protecting depositors' interest, orderly development and conduct of banking operations, and fostering of the overall health of the banking system and financial stability. Okay, depositors, who are the depositors? We are publics, then companies, like we have savings account, current account, fixed deposit, lockers. Okay, so protecting our interest. Then development and conduct of banking operations and fostering of the overall health of banking system and financial stability, maintaining the better health management, better environment in the banking and financial system. Then perimeter. Okay, like commercial banks, small finance banks, payment banks. Payment banks are like the banks which is only work for making payment, like Paytm, then Airtel, then Vodafone also have, then Amazon also nowadays have developed payment bank. Okay, All India Financial Institution, credit information companies, regional rural banks, local areas banks. Okay, so looking after all these things is as a regulator. As a regulator is one function of the RBI. Next, in the regulation, as I said, there are three regulatory functions RBI performs. Now, second one is cooperative banking, related to the regulation of cooperative banking. Now, here, like if we go through the regulating cooperative banking, okay, See, all of you, you notice the cursor, okay, where it is moving. So you can see, I have highlighted in black color, okay, regulating cooperative banking. It is another function of RBI in the banking regulation function. Now, this role is perhaps the most unrelated aspect of our activities, yet it remains among the most critical. These include ensuring credit availability to the productive sectors of the economy, establishing institutions designed to build the country's financial infrastructure, expanding access to affordable financial service, and promoting financial education and literacy. Okay, so these are the some functions RBI perform in regulating the cooperative banking system. Okay, now let's see, these functions include, again I will highlight some important portion, like this includes ensuring the credit availability like loan availability to the productive sectors of the economy, like in rural areas, looking into the productive sectors and giving them sufficient credit, ensuring credit to the needy person, needy businessmen, then establishing institution designed to build the country's financial infrastructure, then encouraging about the formation of the cooperative bank, then expanding access to affordable financial service, expanding access to affordable financial service, like whatever financial service banks are providing, that making in an affordable manner and extending it, and so that it can reach to the everyone. Then promoting financial education and literacy. Then in this category, another function is related to the promoting financial education and literacy among the masses. What I said, among the masses means among everyone. Now, here also you can go through this overview. If you go through this, you will get to know about the detail, like a few important area I will highlight now here. Like the rural cooperative credit system in India is primarily mandated to ensure flow of credit to the agriculture sector. See, agriculture sector is a dominated economic system in India, because India is a agriculture based or rural based economy. Till now, more than near about 70% or more than 65% people are staying approximately in rural areas. Okay, so in that scenario, encouraging cooperative banking system and performing all these tasks mentioned in the discussion are very, very vital. Then another things I will highlight here, like power, like this one. Powers have been delegated to National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD. Okay, see, NABARD, we know in our state also, NABARD bank is there. A NABARD organization, they help in agriculture sectors under Section 35A of the Banking Regulation Act to conduct inspection of state and central cooperative banks. Okay, for inspecting the state and central cooperative banks. So like this, you can gather more information from this area. Now, after regulation, we will go through the function of financial market. Function of RBI related to financial market. Now, here, financial market. Now, these I have highlighted through black color. Now, in the function of financial market, like well functioning liquid and resilient financial market help monetary policy transmission as well as in allocation and absorption of risks entailed in financing India's growth. Okay, now here related to the all kinds of financial market related matters like monetary policy transmission as well as allocation and absorption of risks entailed in financial Indian sector. Okay, it is very important function. Now, if we go through the more details like major market segments under regulatory ambit of Reserve Bank are interest rate market, including government securities market and money markets, foreign exchange markets, derivatives on interest, then interest rates, oblique price, repo, foreign exchange rate, as well as credit derivatives. See, financial market, you have heard about the stockbroking, like commodity market, share market. Okay, so these are related to money market. There also RBI have a prime role to play. Then foreign exchange market, then deciding about the foreign exchange rates. These are all RBI functions related to the financial market. Then next we'll go through the financial inclusion and development function of RBI. What I said, I repeat, financial inclusion and development function of RBI. Now here, like in the financial inclusion and development function of RBI, specifically if we say this role encapsulates the essence of renewed national focus on financial inclusion, promoting financial education and literacy, and making credit available to productive sector of the economy, including rural and MSME sector. Okay, MSME sector. Now, this role of RBI basically stand for the financial inclusion, then promoting financial education and literacy, and making credit available to productive sector of the economy, including rural and MSME sector. Now, if we go through the more details, like credit flows to priority sector. Okay, making credit available is one core function. So credit flow to priority sector, like macro policy formulation to strengthen credit flow to the priority sectors, ensuring priority sector lending becomes a tool for banks for capturing untapped business opportunities among the financially exploited section of the society. Sections of society. Now, see, making broad policies. Macro means big policies formulation to strengthen credit flow to the priority sectors, and ensuring priority sector lending becomes a tool for bank for capturing untapped. Here you need to understand that capturing untapped business opportunities. Untapped means it is not penetrated. Okay, so there are a lot of opportunities and making that sector financially strong enough so that business takes place. Then financial inclusion and financial literacy. In the financial inclusion and financial literacy category, help expand through Prime Minister Dhananjoy Yojana to become a sustainable and scalable financial inclusion initiative. Sustainable and scalable financial inclusion initiative. Now see, if we talk about our respected Prime Minister's Dhananjoy Yojana, it is being opened with the aim that every individual will have a account, savings account or account with a bank. And under this scheme, lot of accounts are being opened, and this is basically a very good example of the financial inclusion and financial literacy, because people are knowing about the banking system, especially regarding their savings account or account. Then people are adding value to the banking system, and more and more people are being included in the banking system. Then credit flow to MSME. Now, stepping up credit flow to micro, small, and medium enterprise sector. Rehabilitation of six units through timely credit support. Okay. Now, stepping up credit flow to the micro, small, and medium enterprise. MSME stands for micro, small, and medium enterprise sector, and rehabilitation, like revitalizing the ailing unit. Now, units through timely credit support, giving credit support and revitalizing the business. Then institutions, strengthening institutional arrangements such as state level bankers committee, lead bank scheme, etc., to facilitate achievement of above objectives. Okay. Now, strengthening institutional arrangements such as state level bank. Now, this is also another main important function to strengthen the financial institutional arrangement, and formation of state level bankers committee, then other lead bank scheme committees. Okay. Then now we'll move to another function. This is consumer education and protection. Next function is related to the consumer education and protection. Okay, we can say that function of RBI related to the consumer education and protection. Now here, consumer education and protection function of RBI. Now here, the Reserve Bank of India approach to customer service focuses on protection and customers' rights, protection of customer rights, enhancing the quality of customer service, spreading awareness, and strengthening the grievances redressal mechanism in banks and also in the Reserve Bank. Now, here, see, through this function, what RBI is basically performs, RBI protect the customer rights and also enhance the quality of customer service. Okay, bank gives service, so RBI always try to enhance the quality of the service. Then spreading awareness and strengthening the grievances redressal mechanism in banks. Spreading awareness and strengthening, grievances redressal mechanism is a responsibility of the RBI to spread awareness about the existing redressal mechanism system and to strengthen that mechanism system so that problem can be solved. Now, after this, we can go through the brief detail of the function again, like the Reserve Bank initiatives in the field of consumer protection includes the setting up of customer redressal cell, creating of a customer service department in 2006, which was recently researched as a consumer education and protection department. Further, the setting up of the Banking Codes and Standards Board of India, an autonomous body for promoting adherence of self-imposed codes by bank for committed customer service. Okay, so see, under this consumer education and protection function of RBI, RBI basically tries to maintain the better interest and tries to protect the customer rights and interest, and tries to enhance the quality of the customer service. Then tries to strengthen the grievances redressal mechanism by adopting different policies and making awareness about this. Next, we'll move to another function. This is banker and debt manager to government. RBI works as a banker and debt manager to government. Now, this is another important vital function of the RBI, and this function basically says banker, RBI works as a banker and debt manager to government. Okay, to government means government of India. Managing the government's banking transaction is a key to RBI rule. Okay, I am repeating again. Managing the government's banking transaction is a key to RBI rule, and it is a prime function of the RBI. Like individuals, businesses, and banks, governments need a banker to carry out their financial transaction in an efficient and effective manner, including the raising of resources from the public. Okay, now see, like as a individual or for business houses, we have bank. We can open account in bank like State Bank of India or United Bank of India. Then we may open account HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Yes Bank, even in foreign banks like Standard Chartered banks, American Express Bank. Okay, so like this, as you need a bank, like this, government also need a bank. Okay, who will do the government all transaction? Who will perform the government all economic transaction? Now, as RBI have these tasks to be performed on behalf of the government. Okay, so this is also very important function of the RBI performs. Okay, so more details are given here in the overview. So you can go through this detail also. Then another function is banker to banks. RBI works as a banker to banks. Okay, so this function already earlier also I said that RBI works as a bankers to banks. Now, what I said earlier that we have bank. Now, for all banks, RBI works as a bank. And this is the function now we are going to discuss. Now, this area I have highlighted in black color. Like individual consumers, businesses and organizations of all kinds, banks need their own mechanisms to transfer funds and settle their interbank transactions such as borrowing from and lending to others bank and customers transaction as the banker to banks. The Reserve Bank fulfills this role. Okay, like individual customers, business houses, or any organization, okay, do the banking transactions like this. All banks also need to do interbank, need to do transactions like transfer of funds, then interbank transactions such as borrowing from and lending to other banks and customer transaction. Okay, so here RBI works as a main bank, core bank, and works as a banker to all banks. Here also, from overview, you can go through this part and you can gather more information from here. Then, foreign exchange management function of RBI. Another vital function RBI performs that is related to the foreign exchange management. Now, in the foreign exchange management function of RBI, what basically RBI performs? Right, with the transmission to the market-based system for determining the external value of the Indian rupee, the foreign exchange market in India gained importance in the early reform period. Okay, now see foreign exchange management like foreign reserve ratio, foreign exchange reserve, like this is regarding the foreign currency. Okay, foreign currency, then like see external value of the Indian rupee. The foreign exchange market in India gained importance in the early. Okay, if we talk about the reform period in India, it started with the 1991 when under the leadership of our late Prime Minister PB. We have gone through a rapid revolution and transformation. Okay, so with this transmission, a lot of changes have happened, and we have the evidence of that. Like today, virtual platform is available in front of us. And then earlier in India there was only one insurance company, that was LIC. LIC. Now, but presently more than 19 insurance companies are doing business in India. Same way in telecom sector there was only BSNL. Okay, and now we can see telecom companies like Reliance Jio, Airtel, Vodafone, and so on. Then in aviation sector there was only Indian Airlines and Air India. But nowadays you can see a lot of airlines like SpiceJet and Indigo, Jet Airways, and many more. Like this, sector-based economic reform in India happened, and due to that, foreign exchange, importance of the foreign exchange have increased, and value of the Indian rupee also have increased. So regarding this also, RBI have some functions. Okay, and you can go through this part also. Now, the last function is payment and settlement system. Function of RBI related to the payment and settlement system. Now, in the payment and settlement system, function of RBI, like payment and settlement system play an important role in improving overall economic efficiency. They consist of all the diverse arrangement that we use to systematically transfer money, currency, paper instruments such as checks, and various electronic channels. Okay, payment and settlement system. RBI also works as a payment and settlement system. Like, see, we make check payments, we make electronic payment through electronic channels like payment bank. Okay, so there systematically transfer of money, currency, paper instruments takes place. So here also, from overview also, you can go through this part and you can have more information. Now, see, today we have discussed the summary of the function of RBI with the help of website of Reserve Bank of India, and the URL is rbi.org.in. rbi.org.in. Now, we are very much thankful to them. Now, here total 11 function of RBI we have discussed today. Now, I will give you the summary of the functions. Like, first function of RBI is related to the monetary policy. Then second function is related to research and data. Third function is related to the issuer of currency. And fourth function is related to the regulations. In regulation, RBI regulate commercial bank, then cooperative banking system and non-banking system. Then function related to financial market. Then function related to the financial inclusion and development. Then function of RBI related to the consumer education and protection. Then function of RBI related to the bankers and debt manager to government. Then RBI also perform function as a banker to banks. Then another function, RBI, another important function is managing foreign exchange or foreign exchange management. Then RBI also performs the task of payment and settlement system. This is also very important function. All these functions of RBI is very, very important, very, very important, and need to be carefully performed by RBI, and RBI is doing all these functions, performing all these functions. So today in the beginning I said that we'll discuss Reserve Bank of India from the banking chapter, and we will also go through the World Trade Organization. But our time is not permitting this. So today now we'll finish the session here, and in the next session we'll discuss about the World Trade Organization. Thank you, everybody.